Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the SiteSwan Ask Me Anything coaching session. I'm Justin, co-founder, CEO of SiteSwan Website Builder, and I'm super excited to do our very first coaching session of 2025. We got a lot of people registered. People are piling in as we speak, 33 and counting, 34. Welcome, welcome. I want to start off by asking you a little something. We're going to change things up, do things differently for the new year. And what I want to know from you all, I want to hear a win that you've had. A lot of you, most of you, almost all of you, I don't get to speak with on a regular basis, right? Sure, you have your coach, Ezra, and she's helping me moderate today. You might be talking to our support team. You might be replying to our emails and fun stuff like that. But I don't really get a lot from you. So I want you to give me a win. Any win you've had since, let's say, the last 2 or 3 weeks. I don't care what it is. You sold a site. You sold several sites. You got a great lead. You made a ton of calls. You surprised yourself with something. Someone surprised you with something. Think business first. Think your web design business first. Personal secondary. I'll take personal wins also. I want to hear your wins. And the way you're going to tell me those is in the questions tab. Now, what's cool about the questions tab is that only you and I can see those comments, okay? So whatever you type in as a question will be delivered to me and my staff, everyone who's moderating, nobody else. So that way you don't have to feel shy about what you're saying. I will not say your full name with whatever you type in for the sake of privacy. So my whole purpose here is to be able to give you answers without kind of exposing you to everyone if you don't want to be exposed. So I want to hear about your wins, whatever it may be, over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I want to hear what you're into, what you're doing, how you are taking home the bacon. Steven says, I closed 2 new clients, hoping to get 3 more in the next week. That is awesome. Antonio from Miami, SEO is one of the main advantages I'm promoting to prospective customers. Therefore, I'd like to know how well it works. That's awesome. We're going to talk about that. I got your question ahead of time. It's already written down. It's going to be one of the first ones that we get to today. Let's see. Ian's got a question. I want to hear about your wins first. I promise we'll get to questions, okay? Anybody with a win? Christy says, I just sold a site to a new client we've been talking with for a few months. That was slow to finalize, and we've been getting more and more worthwhile leads coming in after doing a coaching session with Ezra on some good warm-up tips for outreach methods. Love to hear that, Christy. I'm glad you're getting something out of your coaching sessions. Mike says, I just got off a call this morning with a popular Italian cookie company. She's getting a website from me and social media marketing. Nice. She serves the Northeast, so it's a pretty big company. That's really great. I would love to know, I'd love to hear what you are doing for social media marketing and how you're handling that, Mike. Terry says, just got 1 website live this week, finished 1 demo page and working on another demo page. I think demo pages will hire me to do, I think both demos will hire me to do their sites. It's a good start to 2025. Love to hear that. Ed said, love these calls, never received the recording from last call. If you don't see it in your inbox, it's also on YouTube, I want to say. I think it's on YouTube. One of my moderators definitely knows where it is. So if you are looking for a last coaching session, type in session, and you'll get a reply with the YouTube link. You're welcome. Let's see. Tammy says, I started SiteSwan mid-December. I closed 2 new clients and hoping to add another the next week. That is awesome. Oh, Ken says, I dialed 50 leads and got 3 good leads from it. That's awesome, Ken. Boris has got 3 new clients, but is getting a little frustrated. Can't do what they're asking. We want to talk about that. Nagajoti says, sold 2 sites last week, made it up and running. Kuzman says, got a win with 3 potential clients in 1 day with warm outreach. Holy cow. Antonio got his first client. Should be complete in the order this afternoon. That's wonderful to hear. David had a quick meeting today with the owner of a pancake house. She's getting together with her partner and will be having another meeting later this week. Loved the demo. Hoda been working on 2 new client websites, hoping to get that out of the way in the next coming weeks. Michael's got 3 online, 2 about to begin. Roderick just started the 14-day launch plan. Neha wants the URL for the last time's video. TJ's brand new, started last week of December. 2 for 2 on pitching websites. One was a family member. I don't care. That still counts. You're absolutely right. That absolutely still counts. Lisa has been with SiteSwan for 2.5 weeks and sold 2 sites to the same person. Lisa watched that video with Tammy that I did, where that's kind of like Tammy's thing. She's just like, nope, you need 2 sites. I'm getting you 2 sites. Mike says for social media marketing, plans on hiring a white label team to take care of the heavy lifting. Also going to manage the Google business profile and help her increase the 5-star reviews. Love it, Mike. Hope you charge an extra for that. Ed has gone through every section in the support center, has watched up through lesson 9 of the 14-day launch plans. That's our training series. Ed has sold a mariachi band website. All right. I love it. Cool deal. So thank you all for chiming in with your wins. That's so great to hear. Hopefully the rest of you have been a little bit inspired by what you just heard. We've got a powerhouse of a group here today. I normally don't get that big a response in the beginning. I'm so glad that, people say like, oh, holiday season, you can't sell sites during the holiday season. Baloney. Yes, you can. It was like one of my favorite times to sell websites. This whole, the cold winter months, so many businesses are ready to talk. This is a great, great time. By the way, Ken is offering some clarification when he got those 50 calls with the 3 leads. They were all using the new trailer rental theme that we have. Guys, I can't stress this enough. When you see a new theme get launched, which we do at least 1 a week, use it. Try to use it, and you will be surprised at how many opportunities there are. Because look, if someone's asking for a theme, that's the only way we do themes. You guys ask for them, and then we do them. And by the way, for those of you who don't know this, if you want a theme prioritized, meaning pushed to the very top of the list, it's $99. In a week, you're going to have it done. So that's what someone did with the trailer rentals, and it's creating opportunities for everybody. Okay? Let's get to your questions. You can ask anything you'd like. We have a ton that came in ahead of time. A ton. So I am doing this new thing. Since I tend to go through questions kind of fast, I'm going to attempt to display the question I am answering at the bottom of my screen like this. I don't know if it's going to work well. I don't know if this is going to be a huge, huge mistake. But I've gotten some feedback that maybe I talk a little fast, going through things fast. We don't have clarity on what the heck I'm even talking about at the moment. I'm going to try and fix that today. Okay? So here we go. The first question that I have is from Carlos, who I hope is here. I prefer to only answer the questions of people who are here, because not only have you gone and asked the question ahead of time, but now you're showing up to get the answer. That shows me you're dedicated. I want to give those people extra love to make sure that you are getting what you need out of this. So, Carlos, I didn't check if you're here or not, but since you're the first one, and I already have this down here, Carlos says, what's the best practice when it comes to purchasing domains? Should the customer be purchasing it? The answer to that is no. They should not be. Let me explain. When it comes to getting domain names, if your client does not have one, the best practice is to research good domain names for them. Our recommended vendor is called cheapandeasydomains.com, and you just type in a couple of ideas, click search, and see if they come up. What are some good ideas? The name of the business.com is a great idea. If that's not available, the name of the business with a shorthand for their state. That's a great secondary choice. A third choice would be to shorten the business name if it's long, or lengthen the business name if it's short, and include city and state or either or. Okay? Once you have those three, and by the way, you're going to have one clear winner out of those three. Do not send them 7. Do not send them 15. Do not send them 2. Send them 3. You're going to email to them or text it to them and say, hey, I found these 3 great domain names. Which one do you like best? You already know the answer. They're going to choose the same one that you think is best. And then you are going to buy it for them. Why are you going to buy it for them? Because if you leave them to make that buying decision, it's going to extend the length of the sales cycle out several weeks. Business owners, for whatever reason, hesitate, delay purchasing their own domain name. So you end up in a situation where you're delaying the launch of the site and when you can start charging them. You purchase it. Look, for $24 on the year, that's $2 a month. It's a very small amount of that, $50 to $99 a month you're charging for the website. So it's worth it because you will be able to charge them 1 to 2 months earlier and never have to worry about that domain name expiring, which is something that can happen if you leave it up to your client to make sure that that domain is registered and that it renews. Okay, so this is going to be a fun problem I got to deal with every time. I have to copy paste and then I have to increase the font size and then I'm going to center it. Okay, so guys, today or yesterday we sent out a site of the week, and a couple of you had asked this question in previous sessions as well as ahead of time. So this kind of goes out to everybody. Okay, this site of the week is loading in a different screen. That's not helpful to everybody. Has a translate feature on it. Okay, and I'm just going to pull it up for you. And a lot of you said, how the heck does this happen? And someone very specifically, let me just make sure I have this right. Who asked about translating? I'm telling you, there's so many questions. Sammy, if you're here, if you are curious about how that all works, this right here allows you to change the language on the site with just one click. It's automatic, so it's not perfect, but works kind of cool. The way we do that is if you go into your dashboard on the resources section, you're going to scroll down to the helpful links and marketplace, and you are going to find this one right here, which is called where'd it go? Are you serious right now? It's here, guys. I know it's here. I'm not going crazy. I know that it's here. It's called G-Translate. I know it's here. Hold on. Why would I not have access to this resource? Let me think. Hold on, people. Oh my gosh, look at this. A lot of you don't have this. Wow. My bad. We got to check our resources. Do me a favor, my moderators. Remind me, do a check on our resources to make sure everyone has access to all of them, because I just saw something that was alarming. Okay, refresh. Where is it? The image is still loading because it's a new resource for me. So G-Translate's going to be right here. Let me see if it loads now. There it is. You click on this link, you get the little widget to copy and paste of code. The code goes on the site details page. Site details page, click edit. Now you have the ability to copy and paste code into your site. This is going to be site-wide code that's invisible to anyone visiting the site, but it's going to produce that little widget on the bottom right. That's how you do it. You set your languages, whatever, and you're good to go. Hopefully that answers the question for everyone looking for translation. Everyone right now, by the way, if you didn't have that in your dashboard, you now have it. Okay? Cool. Next up. I'm trying to think the best way to do this where I know that I'm asking the questions of the people who are here. 52 people right now. You guys are killing it. All right. I want to get to a couple of people who I promised they had kind of lengthy. By the way, Andrew, I see you on here. I know you're brand new. You were looking about upgrading. If you have a question about upgrading, type upgrading and my moderators will help you. Thanks for joining today. All right. I'm going to go through a couple that I know were a little heavier, Let's handle those first. First one is, where is it? I'm telling you, a ton of questions came in. I'm trying to sort through them. All right, Boris. How would I answer a client's question? Let me put this up here. I almost forgot to do that. See? How would I answer a client's question of why do I use why do I build sites on SiteSwan rather than one of the more powerful or more commonly used WordPress, GoDaddy, or Shopify? Great question. So first of all, you shouldn't at any point be revealing to your client that you're using or a white label platform. So I always advise against that because, quite frankly, the platform that you build their site on should not matter to them so long as they're going to get great results, good customer service, and excellent search results. So I usually stay away from, I never bring that up. Like if they ask me, my perfect answer is I use a proprietary platform specifically designed for small business websites that is only available to agencies like me. I use a proprietary platform for building websites specifically designed for small businesses that's only available to agencies like me. Okay? That's the ultimate answer when someone asks you what platform the site is built on. And if they say, well, why is that? Why aren't you using WordPress? Why aren't you using GoDaddy? Why aren't you using Shopify? Those are all fine. If they want to use someone who specializes in one of those platforms, they're welcome to. They should study the pros and cons of working. If they're so keen on the platform, they should study the pros and cons of doing those different platforms. And not for nothing, but if they're asking that kind of question, they may be looking to save money, perhaps, because they want to like host the site themselves on GoDaddy or something like that. Good luck. Good luck to you. If that's what you're going to do, you're probably going to come back to me in 3 months with your hands up in the air saying, I give up. Please just do it for me. I don't care how you build the site. Okay? Boris then went on to talk about how the page editor, Boris is having difficulty doing some things his client is asking for. Boris, what I would love, and I know that you said you had sent this, I can't find it. Boris, if you can tell us exactly what those things are that you are trying to achieve, that you're struggling to achieve. And if you could just resend the email, because I literally have no idea where it could be, or better yet, go into a ticket and then I think I just found it. Hold on, guys. This is amazing. So there's 10 things that you sent, Boris. I'm so sorry. I literally had to pluck it out of my spam. Okay, let me see if I can answer any of these now. Let's see. All right. So a lot of these I'm going to push over to my support because we have articles on them and I can kind of take you step by step through it. You asked about languages. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading this for the first time now. Okay, you were curious about like little indicators about how tall a row is when you are making the row height adjustments. Setting button colors across the board, as opposed to just having to change them one off. So I do hear this come up a couple of times. I want to give you a little, I'm going to call it a hack. So check this out, guys. On any of your sites, I'll show you a little trick you could do. And for a lot of our sites, we kind of do this already. But, so what happens is when you're working on your site, for your client, sometimes you're going to find that like on a theme like this, we're using the same color yellow for the buttons that we are for the backgrounds. This is the brand color on the site, right? If I go here and I click on the button color, that's what we're using. Now, what's cool about this is that I can modify this to be any color of the rainbow. And then once I make that adjustment, here's what I could do. I can go to my Design and Colors tab, and I can add a brand color that is the color that I used for that particular button. Hear me out, guys, okay? Watch me do this, because this is not a brand color right now. So I'm going to go into my button. I'm going to copy this color. Okay. Cancel out of that. Go to my design, colors, add a brand color, and then paste this in here. Now, what just happened is that throughout the entire site, it has located all elements that are that yellow color. And now it's made it, hooked it into, attached it to the brand color. So now if I go to my design tab in colors and brand color and I make a change to this color, it's going to affect the entire site. Anytime there was a yellow, there is now a pink. Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. Okay, if you were to make a change to one of your buttons and you wanted this to be, let's say, green, okay, what I would recommend doing is once you have located what that color is going to be, you are going to select it, copy and paste this code, and now make this a brand color. So it's going to make it really easy for updating the rest of the buttons because you just reference that brand color. Because like watch this, if I want to edit this button now, I just click, I go to my button color, click my brand color, which has, I didn't create my brand color yet. Justin, you got to create the brand color first, and then you can use it as a brand color. All right. Oh boy. All right. Button color, my brand color is right here now. Okay. So I can click this, save it, done. Does it still require changing buttons one at a time? Yes. But if I say, you know what? I chose the wrong color green. Now I got to change all my buttons. No, you don't. Just go up to your design, choose your colors, change your brand color to whatever you want now, and it's going to change all instances of that new color. So Boris, long story short, no, we don't have a feature that lets you change all the buttons on your site, but you can change as many as you have assigned to a particular brand color. Because here's a great example, okay? Great example, this website. This post is using the same yellow color that is on these buttons. If this button was yellow, that'd be a no-no, would not look good, okay? So that's why we made it blue. So what I'm trying to say is that by changing all the buttons across the entire site is oftentimes not going to be the actual desired outcome. You can set which buttons are which colors, and then if you want to make a sweeping change across all those buttons, you can, okay? Boris, I apologize again that we missed this, that I had to dig out of my spam folder, but I'm going to send this off to get a support ticket created for you because a lot of these things are totally doable and just need to be spelled out perhaps. And I'm sorry that it wasn't crystal clear in the beginning, but anything that you have, the best way to get to us, Boris, is the support ticket. If you guys don't know how to create a support ticket, let me just show you. You're going to go to support.siteswan.com, which is also available from the support link in the header. And it's going to take you here. You're going to go to submit a request. You're going to put as many details as you could possibly have right in here. You could attach photos, videos, whatever you want. Click submit, and we get back to you in a hurry. Very succinct. We write you written answers with give you a perfect response to whatever it is you're looking for. Boris, I hope that I was able to get the majority of your questions answered via this method. And if not, we will keep plugging away at it until we do get them answered for you. Now, moving on to a question from Antonio, who wants to talk a little SEO, okay, which I always enjoy doing. I could do an entire session or 3 on SEO, but let me just pull that up so we can all look at the question together. Okay. All right. So it's kind of a long question. I'll scroll through it as we go. I'm going to center this. Cool. So Antonio says, how well does SEO work for the sites built on the SiteSwan platform? So there isn't a measurable level of SEO performance that we can succinctly report. But the best I could tell you is this. We built SiteSwan from the ground up all on our own. You'll notice this is not built on any other platform. It's our platform. We were able to dictate exactly what goes into this platform. The reason I'm saying that is because even when we launched the platform, 14 years ago, it's going to be 14 years this year, search engine optimization was one of the foundational pillars of the SiteSwan platform. Because even then we knew there was no sense in having a beautiful site if nobody can find it. And we believe that. We believed it then, and we believe it now. So SEO is a huge priority. So much so that I want you to watch what happens. You will see your client sites, and you guys who have experienced this, testify for me. You will see your client sites rise to the top of search results as if they are marching to battle. That's because the way the sites are built, the language that we use, and the themes that we give you, and the infrastructure of the site is specifically optimized around what the search engines are looking for. And we know this because we're a small business website building platform. Guess what? When an algorithm change happens on Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever, we can sense it almost immediately because it has a rippling effect across all the small business websites that are on our platform. That's the thing. Like, we don't have, like, some people say, oh, well, you could do all this other stuff on another platform. That's fine. Leave that to them. But if you're building a small business website that's informational, lead generating, and designed to put the best foot forward for the business in the way it's most professional as possible, while getting great search results, you're going to prefer the SiteSwan platform because of its ease of use and the speed with which you can create the sites. And because we're so laser focused on that, we're able to craft the infrastructure of the sites in a way that deliver the best possible chance of coming up first for search results. Okay. So, long story short, it's going to work. If you haven't already experienced it, it's going to work. Now, to get to the rest of your questions, I launched my marketing site on December 16th. I think you're being a little bit aggressive with your timeline. It is very, very, very difficult for any website that is brand new with a brand domain name, I don't care how it's built or what it's doing, to achieve even good, even halfway decent search results this soon into the game. It's only 3 weeks. So I think you're just not giving it enough time, because you will see, if you give it that time, a big improvement in how your site's performing. You just got to be a little patient, okay? You're doing the right thing with the search engine submission, but you said you signed up for monthly. Well, guess what? It's only been one submission so far, right? Because that's monthly. The reason it's monthly and not daily is because we recognize and we know that it does take time for the site to achieve the best search results it can get. So it's just got to be patient. You will not regret waiting a little bit of time. Look, keep checking it, okay? I'm not going to stop you from checking it. You should be checking it. Keep checking it. You are going to see it start to perform. So long as you didn't make any, crazy changes to the content that's on the site. I didn't go and check that yet. But make sure that you are using exact terms that appear on your site. And if they don't appear on your site and you want to come up for them, put them on your site. That's kind of the basics of SEO right there. So yeah, I understand. You want to be able to say to your clients, hey, my site's performed great in SEO. Look at, this that I've done. The truth is that as long as you assure your clients that you won't sleep until you know that their site is at or near the top of local search results, and you set their expectations that it's not going to happen overnight, that it could take 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or whatever to start really seeing significant results. You got to play the long game with SEO. There's no cheat code to do any shortcuts. Okay. And Tony, if you want further clarification on anything I just shared with you or a follow-up question, post it and we will try to get to it. All right. So a couple of more questions from people who submitted ahead of time. I'm going to go over to Kuzman. Kuzman and I are buddies ever since I learned how to pronounce his name, teasing me with Google Translate. I appreciate that. Kuzman says, I've been doing quite a... Oh, let me just put this for everyone to see. This is a long one. but that's okay. We're going to go through it together. Yes, I'm using the text edit app on my computer. Don't judge me. All right, I've been doing quite a bit of warm outreach, which I see that works the best. And I'm noticing that most businesses aren't just looking for a simple website. They're more interested in selling products alongside of it. Kuzman, I object to this. I object that most are looking for product sales. Part of me believes you might be selling sites abroad, different country. Things might be a little bit different there. I can speak only to the US market, but I do find that that's something that, look, if people talk about it and ask about it, doesn't mean they're going to follow through with it. I'm thinking of a dog food and treat company that's relatively local to me, who we built a website for. And one of the first questions out of his mouth was, "How do I sell my stuff online?" And I said, okay, so for that, what I'm going to need is a list of all the products, with a unique ID number for each. I'm going to need 3 to 5 photos for each product. I'm going to need the pricing. I'm going to need the shipping cost for them, if you're charging tax or not. How many states do you want to deliver to, by the way? And also, I need to know the categories broken down. I need to have photos for the categories. I need to have when you're going to be running sales and what that'll consist of, your refund policy, your return policy, how soon you're going to send stuff out when an order comes in, what credit cards do you want to accept, and what service you're going to use to ship stuff out. There's literally 1,000 things that you need to know to effectively help your client launch a true online store. And no one's willing to do the work because everyone knows that they're going to go online and play against, it's going to be unfair advantage that the bigger players have. You're never going to defeat an Amazon.com. You're never going to defeat a Walmart or Target. They're going to whip your butt with the amount of product that they will be able to sell because of their user base, their client base, and their refined checkout process with logins and all this kind of stuff. Business owners know that to a large degree, okay? If a client is dead set on selling some handmade item or something that's one-off or some very unique item or stuff that is on their shelves that they're being asked to buy online, then fine. Go ahead and do it. Use the simple e-commerce solution we have. It's great for I usually say between 12 and 20 products. That'd be my max that I would start going after, because then you got to deal with different categories and all these different things. 12 to 20 products, nothing crazy, and you can do it. You have to still charge more though. That's the thing too. If you walk into someone and be like, "Hey, I charge $1,000 up front, $100 a month for a website," I'm like, "Oh, I can sell all my stuff online?" No, that costs more. You didn't tell me that. If you want to sell stuff online, we're looking at least $3,000 to $5,000 for the setup fee and at least $200 to $300 a month, because I know you're going to be a pain in my butt. Basically, that's what you're saying. Don't say that, but it's kind of what you're saying. So the whole idea of selling stuff online, I don't hear this a lot, and when I do, you can very easily scare them out of it by just saying, look, you're going to have a lot of stuff set up. And the way I usually describe it to people is this: starting an e-commerce arm of your business is basically like starting a second business. So if you're a retail store and you want to start selling online, you've got to basically have a staff devoted to just fulfilling the online orders if you want to really take it seriously. Because why are you looking to sell stuff online? You want to make more money, right? So if you're going to sell stuff online to make more money, you're going to have to throw money at it. You're going to have to throw resources at it. And no one wants to do that. So that's the long story short on e-commerce. Kuzman then goes on to say, I have a client that wants a website for a handbag store. He's got about 50 or so products that he wants to sell. He's not interested in PayPal payment processor. So we only have our e-commerce function associated with PayPal. It's the only payment processor we got. If you want to go above and beyond with that and you really are committed to doing e-commerce with them, charge them more. There are other ways to do it. We have a support article on this. If you're curious, if you really want to take e-commerce seriously, please don't. But if you do, write e-commerce. We'll send you an article on a couple of suggestions on other ways to do e-commerce that's more advanced, that allows you to have much more control, but it's going to be more work. That is my warning to you. And by the way, if you're even considering doing e-commerce for your first 10 to 20 sites, just say, I'm not ready for it. Move on to the next one. There's so many fish in the sea. There's so many other opportunities to sell websites to small businesses. You don't have to touch e-commerce and sell 20 plus sites before you actually get to one where you feel like you have to, if that's the way you're going to feel. All right, Kuzman, thank you so much for these questions. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more thing. One more thing Kuzman said. I'm also noticing businesses want to stay away from the monthly charge for some reason. It may seem expensive. They don't see the value. Some want to do the hosting themselves. Just want a simple one-time payment. Tell them good luck with that. I will see you later. The idea of someone spending a one-time fee on a website and then not having any ongoing fees is like 1990s thinking when it comes to website design. It's just not a thing that happens anymore. And if it does, the business should expect to be spending $5,000 and up for the website design initially. They want to go manage a hosting environment themselves and deal with that baloney. Good luck. Yeah, will they save a couple bucks per month if they just pay a minimal fee for hosting? Yeah, but what happens when something goes wrong? What happens when they need an update? What happens when they can't figure something out or don't want to figure something out? What happens when their site breaks because of a release that Firefox or Chrome made, and now things don't look the way they used to? Who are they going to call? What are they going to do? They're going to get banged over the head for $100 an hour or whatever it is for the company that built the site to now make these fixes and changes for them. You have to explain to your clients it's an all-inclusive package. You will not ask them for more money unless they want their site completely redesigned. How nice would it be if you only had to pay me $100 a month, Mr. Business Owner, and I will never ask you for another check or another charge unless you had something that was completely above and beyond what we ever spoke about and what I think you'll ever want. Remember, hosting is included, SSL certificates included, my support. Don't get that. Don't discount this, folks. I say this a lot. I'm going to try to say it a different way today. For those of you who are wondering this, business owners like to work with other business owners. Business owners like to work with other business owners. You're dealing with a business owner. You're selling them a site. They get to work with you, a fellow business owner. Why do we like that? I'm the same way. I like to work with other business owners. That's because I know you care. I know you care if things don't work the way they're supposed to, if they don't work out, if I'm not getting what I need. I know you're going to care. And they know you're going to care. So the fact that they get easy access to the business owner is incredibly important to them. They get the customer support, they get unlimited updates, they can edit the site themselves, they get statistics, they get perpetual compatibility. That's the magic term. Perpetual compatibility, meaning every new operating system, tablet device, smartphone, tablet, whatever that hits the shelves of Best Buy or on Verizon.com, whatever it is, the site you built for them is going to work. No questions asked. Okay? That value proposition is worth a heck of a lot more than our suggested retail price of $99 a month. Thank you, Kuzman, for that question. Hope that was helpful. Let's move on. The next person, Carlos, if you were not here in the beginning, I did get to your question about the domains. If you didn't catch that, then you could watch the replay. All right. Is Kira here? Kira is not on. Mark, you're always on. Where are you? Now I'm going to go to Marek first. I just saw your name, Marek. You submitted a question that was threefold. All right. Let's copy these over and let's answer them. I love how I'm leaving the support ticket up on the screen. Like that's helpful to anybody. By the way, to my moderators, I am not looking at the chat. Am I doing okay? Did I say something very wrong? Oh, Kira's on? Thank you. I will get to your question, Kira. Sorry, I totally went right past you. All right. Marek, here are Marek's questions. Number one, how to remove the top bar with the information, how the website will look in PC, iPod. iPod? Oh, I would love if these sites worked on iPods and sell. All right. So you meant iPad. I know. I'm just teasing you. So here's the deal. What are we asking? We're asking when you go to share a site and you click preview, you end up with this across the top where we show multiple icons, the laptop icon, the tablet, and then the phone. This is so that when you or your client want to preview what the site looks like on different devices, you can just click once and see what it looks like. But if you don't want this experience for your client when you are showing it off to them, then simply send them the URL to the site that you're working on, this right here. You're going to say, Justin, I can't. They're going to see the login. No, they won't. Only you see that because you're logged into the SiteSwan dashboard. If I load this up into a different browser that I'm not logged into SiteSwan with, I'm just going to see the public version of the site. That's it. So if you don't want to see that stuff, just send them the regular URL to the site, and you are good to go. The second question is, how can you integrate Shopify? So this is more for advanced e-commerce. If I didn't just talk you out of that, then there are a couple of ways you can integrate with them. They have some like things you just drop products onto your site using the Shopify checkout process. You can check that out. I've seen also some people, if they're working like with a boutique type store, which is I feel like one of the most common requests that come up with e-commerce. What I've seen work a lot very effectively is you build them a site that gets people in the door, a typical small business retail website. And then you have a link to buy online, and it takes you over to a Shopify experience, which is just for buying online. Because, look, they're called Shopify for a reason. Like, they specialize in e-commerce. We specialize in getting great search results for local businesses that put their best foot forward, that make them look like $1 million. So they'll have a site that functions as the main site for their business, and then a link over to the Shopify experience to check out. And then back to multi-language, can you build a website in Spanish? Look, there is nothing stopping you from building a website in Spanish if you know Spanish, or use ChatGPT and create Spanish. So you can just look, if I edit this post, I can type Spanish in here. So you can do that. But if you want to have that translate feature, I showed it to you earlier, G-Translate's in your resources section. If it wasn't before, it is now, since I fixed that. All right, Kira's on, so let's get Kira's question answered. Kira said, I hope I can answer this effectively. I wish I didn't have to change the font size every time. You guys know how to do that. Let me know. Kira said, I've been sending out demos, and I'm curious on which page is the information coming from that shows up in the link that I'm sharing with others. Aha, I think I know what you mean. Some have the logo, some show the address. I'm just curious how to make sure the demo comes over looking the most professional. I did a video on this, okay? Two things. When you are let me see if I can clarify what I think Kira's saying. And if Kira, I'm wrong, blow me up in the questions and be like, what are you talking about? Okay. So when I'm reading this, I'm thinking you're sharing the site with your client via text message, now lately, it drives me nuts. But when I send an email with a link in it, it transforms it into like this image thing. I'm like, I don't want that. I just want the URL in the email. Why are you changing it for me? So if that's what you're referring to, if you're sending it in Facebook Messenger, if you're DMing someone the website, all these messaging things, she's saying, yes, exactly. All these apps think they know better, and they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just pull some images and text from the site and put it in there so it looks all nice. It never looks nice. So what you have to do is you have to tell those apps what to feature in the message. Here's how you do it. 9 times out of 10, the text that's appearing in there is actually going to be the title tag for the meta tag. How do we adjust that? Go to your pages, click edit, and then over here we toggle on page specific SEO, and you put the title of this page. Now, if you don't have page specific SEO set up and you don't feel like setting up page specific SEO, okay. I'd prefer if you did, but that's okay. Go to settings, go to SEO, and just reference this. This is what should appear for the text that gets grabbed, okay? The image. The image is back over here on our pages, manage pages, edit the page, and we have something called the social sharing image. You'll see that I have set an image. as my social sharing image. So I can replace this, I can remove it. If I replace it, it references my image library. I can pull any image from my site or even search free images from Unsplash and Pixabay. Whatever this image is, it's going to now display when whatever that app is, that messaging app is trying to give me, what do you call it? Trying to give me a shortcut for an attractive link. Okay, that's how you do it. It's that simple. What I've seen some people do is they'll create a custom image specifically for this. That's like pro level, but if you really want something cool, you can do that. Let me show you a quick example. One site I saw recently. How am I going to present this to you? Let me think. How am I going to show you what it looks like? Let me see if I could just quickly. All right, Edge chiming in saying some websites have nicely designed hero images. Oh wait, that's different. I thought he was adding on to this. We'll try and get to that, Ed. Let me just see if I can show you this real fast somehow. Okay, here's an example, guys. I'm using my mail app. Okay, check this out. So this is for a website called allsportsli.com. Okay, that's the website. And what was done was there was a custom image designed where the logo went over an image of their one of their fields, and then this is the title text that is being pulled from the site along with the URL. So same experience, more or less same experience happened in a text message or in a DM, and of course in email as well. So hopefully it helps give some context to what we're talking about, so you can do that for your clients now. That's a really cool way to like show off the site to your client. Okay, the site's done. Whatever. We're charging your card now every month. Here's the site. Let me know if you see anything you want to change with it. Send them that link, and it's like, oh, cool, very, very cool. All right. So that was Kira's question. Kira, thank you so much for that. Next up. All right, I'm going to take a couple more. Mike. Mike had a question. I recognize that name. I promised Mark before. Mark is always on our calls. Not a Long Island guy. All right, Mark. How does reputation... Oh, let me just copy and paste this. I mean, it's a simple enough question. I don't need to copy and paste it, but I'm kind of liking this now. By the way, if you guys are like, Justin, we don't need to see the freaking question, say that. If you like it, then don't say anything. All right. My question is, how does reputation management work for a pizza shop with multiple locations? How do you set it up? Mark, the simple answer is they gotta have multiple reputation managements set up for them, because the way reputation management works is linked up to a very specific Google business profile page, Facebook page, Yelp page. So if they have multiple profiles on those platforms for each location, they are going to need to pay you twice for reputation management. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to charge a discount for the second one or what have you, but you can if you want to. Hopefully that answers that question. And is Ann K here? Because Ann sent through a ton of questions. I want to see if I can tackle. Ann K? Ann K. I'm trying to look for email addresses too, because if Ann K is here, please let me know. Ann K videos, right? No? Okay. I have to answer this one question she had, though. Because if any of you are thinking it, I want you to get it out of your heads. Quite frankly, can audio files be added to the website like music when the page is opened? Maybe, I don't know, but don't do it. Don't. No one wants background music when they visit a website. No, do not. Don't do that. Please don't. Just don't. She asked some really good questions, though. I gotta answer these for you guys. So, whoa, that was fun. So this one talks about turnaround time. What do you suggest when talking to clients regarding turnaround time? So here's my go-to. From the moment you tell me you want to see a website homepage design, it's going to take me a week or less to work on that to present it to you. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I show you something you are going to love. So at the end of that conversation, you're going to say, Justin, I am in. Where do I sign? Here's my card. And if that's how we end that conversation, another week max is what it's going to take me to get that site launched. So we're looking 2 weeks maximum from the time you tell me, yes, I'd love to see what my homepage design can look like, to the point that your site is sold. You're not going to hear that from anybody else. That's what I recommend. All right, let's move on to people who are here, who got questions. The questions that came in before were like really good. So I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm spending so much time on them, but it's like, we're really solid. I hope you all are getting something out of this. Steven, I see you come on a lot, and I want to. Oh, I promised Mike. All right. Let's do this. Let's do Mike's question first. Then we'll go on to Steven. Guys, moderators, if I'm passing up a question that is like fire alarm, please just like, I don't know, text me or something like that so I see it, and I'll do that. All right. So this is from Mike C. And Mike is saying, right now, when you make changes to a customer's website, the changes go live the moment you hit save. Are you considering a save function with a separate publish function to allow more control over when the changes go live? Here's the deal. We've always had this philosophy that editing a site should be easier to do than a Facebook page. And there's no publish feature on Facebook. You know, like, you do what you're going to say, post it, everyone can see it. But I'm trying to think, are you actually maybe asking to like publish a post in the future? Like post date a post? Or have a post come offline on a particular day and time? Like scheduling posts? Is that by any chance what you actually mean? Because generally speaking, when it comes to modifying site content, it's so quick and easy to make the changes, generally speaking, that if you put something online right now and then click hide, no one can see it. So if you're reworking this hero image, let's just say, like, I want better content in my hero image. I don't know, right? Here's what I would do. I clone it, hide it, and now edit it. So no one can see this except for me. This is the one everyone sees when they come to the site. But this was visible for what? 2 seconds just now? Edit it, do whatever I want to it, change the image, all this stuff. And then when I'm ready, I will show this one and hide this one. Presto changeo, everything's done. Okay? That is how I would recommend tackling the issue of, if stuff is not, it's not pushed live, so to speak. That is the way to go about it. So I'm going to go over to, what did I just say I was going to do next? What did I just say? I'm sorry, guys. All right, I'm just going to plow through these because I want to get these answered. Elena tried to make a site in the Russian language. It seems like SiteSwan fonts don't support it. I don't know, Elena. I don't know enough about it. If there's a particular font that's available on Google Fonts that does support it, let us know, and we can see if we can get it added into the platform. Okay. So Elena also asked about switching languages. Well, you can't put that in the header like you asked. You can put it in the bottom like I showed you with G-Translate. We're working on something that, look, you guys are here, so I'm going to tell you. We're working on something where you can convert one of these to a button. That could be cool. That could be cool. So we're working on that. Okay, those were more or less Elena's questions. Let's see who's next. Um, Glenn is saying, I want to go in and change the contact details for my client. I want to redirect where the contact forms were sent. So all you got to do is just find the contact form, click on edit, and then swap out the email address for their email. You will have to do this for each form on the site. Why? Because let's be honest, it might be that you want some forms on the site going to different people. Generally, most business websites don't have more than a few forms on the site, so it shouldn't be too crazy. All right. Terry said, when I watched a recent video you did with, oh yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, the Tammy video came out. She's a rock star. Tammy Vanek, pronounced her name in the intro. Check this out. She talks about how she's created retirement income for herself and is just kicking butt and taking names. It's not too long of a watch. Really, really good. So in that video, she did talk about how you can have buttons for mobile devices. So this is I'm not saying it's a hidden feature, but it's not something that's like super obvious just yet. So let me show you what I mean. So if I go to preview what this site looks like, okay, which is now turned into a hideous tab because I've been playing in it so much, you're going to see that on mobile, you have essentially two different ways where this site can be displayed. This is the button she was talking about. You have call, map, and hours on the top of the site, along with your nav over here. How does this come to be? This comes to be because it's referencing the reference panel. Whatever information you have here regarding the location. So location's here, phone number's here. Okay. This is what's being linked up from this mobile navigation. Now, for a lot of businesses, this makes perfect sense. Yes, people want to call me. Yes, people want to know my location. People want to know if I'm open right now. There's also an email feature as well. But for other businesses, not so much. Right? So if you want to modify that, going from one to the other, here's how you do it. From your dashboard, you are going to go to the site details page and you're going to click on edit. Then you're going to find the option that says small screen navigation layout, and you're going to change it so you can have icons or don't show icons. That's how you do it. You guys didn't know it? You know. Melissa says, for those that are new and have yet to obtain their first client, would you suggest practicing making demo sites first to get used to it and all the features? Yeah, absolutely. It would be great to spend a couple minutes building a handful of sites just to play around with them and see what it's like. Pretend the client's asking you to do something and do it. That would be really, really cool. Edwin says, should we notify our clients about phishing emails sent to them through the site that we have built? So phishing emails, I don't know if I see a lot of them, but look, we have measures in place to detect spam content. So it should be fairly accurate. If you're noticing that spammy emails are getting through, you can label them and mark them as spam from this screen. By the way, how do I get here? Site details, form, view form submissions. This shows you all the form submissions that were sent through all the forms on this site ever. So you can mark them as spam if you need to, and then messages like those won't pop up or be accepted in the future. Also, is there a way to discover people who are just starting new businesses, like people who just got a DBA for new business license or something like that? Right after I applied for my DBA, I received sales letters. How did they know I was starting a new business? You know what? I don't know the answer to this question. There might be, but I do want you to think about one thing real quick. Were you in a state where you were ready to pay someone for a website the moment after you registered your DBA? Maybe not. A little early, a little bit on the early side. Depending on the service, it could make sense. Getting an attorney, getting an accountant, getting that. I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't say don't try it, but what I know works for our clients to sell sites is all right here in this 14-day launch plan. This, my friends, is what works. All right, James asked about reputation management. I heard you talk about reputation. Okay, reputation management. I kind of talk about this real quick every time, so let's just do a 45-second rundown of reputation management. You know as well as I do, before you go shopping locally, you are checking out the reviews for a business online. Most small businesses are in the dark about what's being said about them online. You can help them with that because it's one of the key factors that determine whether or not a consumer is going to visit that business. So how can you help them? With a two-prong approach. Number one, you can generate a report that looks just like this that can be emailed to them every single day of the month, every day of the year, showing them the average star rating, total reviews, reviews broken down by star rating and by source, with every single review ever posted about them online, all in one place they can view and share. That's part one. This is what you show to the client to sell the service. I recommend selling it for $100 a month minimum. Your cost is an additional $14.99 per month. Huge margins on this. This is all you need to show them to sell it. But the second half of the service is actually a review request form. It's intelligent because you throw this on their site, and if it's a 4 or a 5-star review, you're going to submit your review, and then it's going to prompt you to post your review publicly online. But if it's a negative review, we're instead going to ask for one-on-one private feedback so that you can get your issue resolved, which helps everybody. Helps the business owner get an answer to their issue, helps the consumer get an answer to their problem, helps the business owner resolve a problem that they actually do want to solve, and hopefully turn that person from a 2 or a 3-star reviewer into a 4 or a 5-star reviewer. This two-pronged approach is very, very effective at helping businesses increase the number of 4 and 5-star reviews they get online, which ultimately increases their average star rating, which increases their appearance in search results, which increases the amount of business they can bring in from new clients, and therefore is worth every dollar of the $99 suggested retail price. So there's that. And what's cool is that as you go on and you get more clients, you get more and more reviews. Like we got reviews. Am I going to do this? Yeah, I'll do this. Why not? Lots of you are here today. I'm going to ask a favor. I'm going to ask you 2 favors today, actually. If you feel so compelled and you want to get a token of our gratitude, because we will send you a token of our gratitude. You want to leave us a review? You can go here, click reviews. You can go ahead and click write a review, write whatever you'd like. Hopefully it's nice. And then screenshot it, send it to info@siteswan.com. You will get a reward. You'll get a bounty for your efforts. So that's that. Also, something came to my attention, and I would like to know if anyone here is a Reddit user, because it came to our attention that we're a topic of conversation on Reddit, which is awesome. And like there was like 2 people from 6 or 7 years ago that were like running us down for some reason, and without us even like knowing about it, so many SiteSwan clients came to our defense and they're like, no, it's good, like no. So if anyone's a Reddit user and they want to put their voice on this thread, all you gotta do is type in SiteSwan and the Reddit thread comes right up. If you want to help balance out some of the negativity with some of the truth, I'd appreciate that. I've never asked anything like this before, but I consider everyone who's here to be like a little SiteSwan army here. So if you feel so compelled, please do. But for the reviews, you send a screenshot of that, info@siteswan.com. We will send you a little something as a thank you. All right, we're going to do 3 more questions. I know we're running a little bit late, but you guys have been so patient. So let's do this. 3 more questions. I'm going to make them fast. Anthony, in addition to privacy page on websites, when should a terms and conditions page be added and what should be included in terms and conditions? It's really hard. The privacy policy that we have is very boilerplate. Terms and conditions, I don't know if they want to do one. Ask ChatGPT. Like it's not a very heavy lift by any means. It's all just red tape, sort of. Sean is saying, are you going to add any AI services to SiteSwan? Yes. Hoda is saying, if we're using third-party products like MailChimp or Elfsight or whatever, should we ask the client to purchase those or do I purchase for them and then add that to my service price? If so, what percentage will that be? Will it be the same amount the third party is charging? Good question. So let me just clarify what is being spoken about here. So on the resources page of the dashboard, we had this marketplace where you can use third-party services to enhance your site with various things. Elfsight is like a widget thing. So you can use all these different widgets, plug them into your site. It's platform agnostic. You can just take it, copy paste the code, pop it in. Now, you might set up an Elfsight account for yourself to use that you can have multiple sites from there. So you can use widgets that Elfsight gives you from multiple different ones of your clients. So I would recommend considering how much it costs, okay, and say to yourself, is this a tool I want in my toolbox that I'll just be able to say yes to more of these things? Or is this something that I want to charge more for because they're asking for something that goes admittedly above and beyond what is something I usually do? That's a question to ask yourself. I don't know what the right answer is because you have to figure out how much am I charging my client versus how much are they willing to pay versus how important that thing is to them. If you do attach a price to something, by the way, that is much above and beyond what you would normally do for someone, you watch how quickly they change their mind. If they're just like, no, you know what? I don't need it. Don't worry about it. And then you're like, okay, don't have to do that anymore. Or, if you want to be a good neighbor, then you just add it in. MailChimp, however, because now this is talking like email marketing and is a little bit more, I want to say, permanent in nature because you're building up this list. It'd be very difficult for your client to just take over the MailChimp experience. So I would probably recommend that you set the MailChimp account up under their name, make them feel like they own it, let them pay for MailChimp, which I think is free to start and then goes up over time. But then you charge them for your email marketing services. So you're basically managing the list, managing the emails that go out. If they decide they want to take that in-house one day, it's so easy for them to do it. And you might be willing to do that too. All right, enough of these people. So let them pay for MailChimp, but you just charge them for the email management service. Hoda, thank you for that question. Sammy says, if a customer wants to move their website to a cheaper host after I've created it, what am I obligated to give them? Quite frankly, nothing unless you agreed to something in writing. Most times, this has happened so few times. I'm trying to think what happened. Like, hey, I want to move my site. Great, go ahead. Oh, what do I do? I don't know. What do you have to do? What platform are you using? Oh, I'm using blah, blah, blah. I don't use blah, blah, blah. So I have no idea I have no idea. When you're pitching your site to them, you are telling them this is a one-time setup fee and a monthly recurring fee that's attached to the site. It's almost like, I hate to use the term, but it's kind of like renting. It's kind of like leasing the site, right? For as long as you pay for the site will be live and always work and look like $1 million. So if they're coming to you after the fact, after you've explained that to them, question, can I move my site? It's like, oh, really? When did we talk about that? All right, last question, and then we're gonna have one last thing I want to do together. Some question. Ed says some websites have nicely designed hero images I would like to use, but incorporate the client's images using the same background. Is there a way to access backgrounds used on hero images you've created that I would access and use for personalizing a website? So the majority of the images that we use in our themes are available in the image library for that site, as well as a lot of times they're pulled from Pixabay and they're pulled from Unsplash. You can find them there as well. If you can't, just go to the theme, okay? Just create a new site using the theme, go to your image library, find the image, drag it to your desktop, and use that on the new site or the other site that you're working on, okay? Before we wrap up, I want to know, What key takeaways did you guys have? I like everyone to post one thing that they heard, saw, experienced, learned, whatever, on the chat today from something someone else asked or said, from something I shared, from something I showed you, from whatever. Give me one key takeaway from it. I want to hear if we're on the right page in the direction that we're going with these coaching calls. We want honest feedback from you all because we want to make sure that we're delivering to you guys what you need to be as successful as humanly possible. So whatever it is, if it's a resource I showed you, if it's a site I showed you, if it's a question I showed you someone asked, if it's whatever, please, please, please share it. Steven is saying G-Translate. Ed is saying the G-Translate. Elena is saying sales are tough. Elena, I want you to get onto a coaching call. If you don't know what that is or how to go about it, type coaching. We will get you the ability to make an appointment. That goes for everybody, by the way. If you're not currently working with your coach here at SiteSwan, type in coaching. We will send you a link to schedule your first call. We will get you coached. Carlos says, I learned to tread lightly when it comes to e-commerce. Yes, yes. Terry says, G-Translate was helpful. Buttons on mobile was helpful. The review request form was helpful. Ed said, good to know that I can have different contact forms going to different people. Yes, indeed. Someone saying, John is saying it's good to know I can put audio on my homepage. Just kidding. Yeah, please don't do that. Do not put audio on your homepage ever. Michael says, got a decent way to control changes to a site without the world seeing me as I work. Yes, indeed. Mark is saying G-Translate. Ken is saying, I'm always good. Always get good information here. Kuzman, coaching calls are awesome. Thank you for the answers. You're very welcome. Lisa wants coaching. Jason wants coaching. Ed wants coaching. Lisa said buttons on mobile was helpful. Mark wants inventory limit option for our shopping cart. Oh my, Mark, you're into dangerous territory there with e-commerce. Sammy likes G-Translate and the widget resource. I've loved every one of these sessions that I have attended since joining. Cool, dude. Keep coming. We love having you. You're a great attendee. Nia says, I'm new, lots of information, a lot to learn. Well, Nia, we do a lot of these. You can watch them all online. Ian listed 3 things for us in the email marketing. Added links was answered, updated the link images, and name was awesome. Updating the site without it being public was awesome, and coaching. Good. A lot of you guys have not gotten into coaching yet. Well, you are going to be now. Schedule your first call as soon as possible. We'll get you on the calendar, walk you through everything you need to be able to effectively sell more sites as quickly as possible. Guys, if you're not successful selling sites, we're not successful. Why? Because if you're not selling sites, you're going to cancel, and we don't want that. We want you to make money selling sites. Whatever we could possibly do, we're going to do. So get on your coaching, ask those questions, follow our lead. I can't stress that enough, guys. You know what we're going to start doing, by the way? Our 14-day launch plan. We're going to add a section called Failure to Launch Plan. And that's all the stuff that people tell us they're going to do that's not in the launch plan that we say don't do, and they do it anyway, and they wonder why it didn't work. Yeah, we're going to do that. We are going to do that. I want to leave you with one thing. One thing before we go. The greatest human temptation is to settle for far too little. The greatest human temptation is to settle for far too little. I think that's very, very true for all of us. We settle for too little. We have expectations, and then we don't meet our own expectations, and then we settle. Don't settle. Do more. Be more. By being here, you're doing more. By being here, attending this thing, staying 15 minutes late, you are doing more because you are someone who perhaps is done settling. And I appreciate that, and you deserve a lot of credit for that. Lisa is adding to my thing. You will never get 1 penny more than you think you are worth. Very true. I love that one too. Very true. Guys, go get it. You still got the rest of the day today to sell some sites. Let's go. The weekend's a perfect time to sell sites too. Let's get to it. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys have been awesome. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. We'll do this again, same time, same place. See you then. Catch you later.